Hello. A key question is, how do governments and other organizations decide what is critical? What methods do they use to decide? In this video, we will explore the overarching approaches and why this leads to different lists of what is critical and what is deemed not to be critical. Let us begin by considering terms and approaches which will not help us when considering criticality assessments. Popular media, social media, and mainstream society might discuss materials we are running out of or scarce materials. Others might discuss materials to be avoided, and even describing some materials as bad materials. The challenge with such terms is they cannot be measured, and they're subjective. In the case of bad materials, such terms anthropomorphize or humanize materials. Raw materials, in particular metals, don't have feelings. So these terms are usually not too helpful when developing a methodology to define critical materials. So has anyone looked at the different methods used around the world? The answer is yes. Let's see what they found. This model shows the generic steps most critical raw material assessments make, and it highlights the importance of the goal and scope of the assessment in the process. Questions in the goal and scope include: what is at risk? What type of risk? What is the CRM assessment trying to achieve? What materials are in scope in the assessment? What are the data requirements? Answers to these questions lead on to the important aspects of data availability and indicator selection. These combine into an indicator evaluation. In parallel, the goal and scope requires an aggregation method to be decided upon. All this needs to be interpreted and communicated, and then we have to decide which materials are critical. Complex? Yes, it is. Now we can see why wider society prefers terms like running out or scarce. Let's look at an indicator frame to try and make sense of it all. In this model, you see the two-axis approach to defining criticality indicators. An assessment is made of the supply risk of a material and the impact of that supply risk happening. So, material B has a low criticality, whilst material A, being higher up on the arrow line, is highly critical. Most criticality assessments use this model and approach. So what are the take-home points in this video? Firstly, the differences in goal and scope of criticality studies result in different outcomes. Next, the cause and effect mechanisms of indicators and outcomes are poorly understood. Next, the lack of availability of high-quality data limits the evaluation of criticality. And finally, all criticality methods should be more transparent to support interpretation. Criticality assessment is a complex, expensive, and time-consuming task, but differences in the results are normal. Thank you.